This is a picture of me on location sometime in the mid to late 90s. I know this because I'm shooting with my Nikon F5 that was recently released. I was using my Nikon F5, which is a 35mm film camera at this time, because it was autofocus and had the fastest frames per second, blazing along at 8 frames a second back then. Shown as my 80 to 200 millimeter f2.8 ED Nikon zoom lens, which was a adequate lens for shooting at that time. Also, you'll see that I have my ProPhoto monoblock 1200 watt second strobe with me, and this was an AC powered one way before they came out with batteries. Now, during this time I had Leica cameras as well, of course, but for fast-paced shooting, the Leica sometimes would slow me down just a little, but it had superior lenses. A lot of people ask me, it's controversial and I don't want to piss anyone off, what is better, Nikon or Canon? From my experience for shooting 40 years, been published, I'm on television, I shoot television, Nikon is the winner. I have underwater Nikon cameras, the Nikon S5 here, as you can see, that I take scuba diving. This is my Canon EOS 1DC, which was Canon's flagship camera when they released it that shot 4K also. I don't know what that word is that comes out of the back of a dog or a cow, but that describes that camera. I spent $15,000 on the body alone, as well the lens, and it is the only camera that has ever let me down out of every single camera I've owned over 40 years, plus when I was a little kid shooting, if that tells you anything. I really wanted to love Canon. I even was holding it in a picture that was on an indoor illuminated billboard at the Grove in Los Angeles when it first opened. I'd constantly get comments from friends. Every time I go to the Grove, I think of you because I see your picture. When this disaster happened with this camera, Canon didn't do anything. I was ignored, and I ended up ditching the camera and going and using Leica as my exclusive. Leica has never let me down. Nikon has never let me down. Hasselblad has never really let me down unless you advance it with the lens off and you gotta kind of manipulate it and get it back on there. But Canon, I'll just leave it at that. People ask me, well, what kind of camera should I buy? Well, I always say get a Leica. Leica is the best 35mm camera. And when I was shooting Nikons and Canons, when I first started shooting stills for the motion pictures, I had to blimp the camera, which means it goes in a sound device basically. So I was stuck using either a Canon or a Nikon. When Leica released their SL model, which is my go-to camera now, I got rid of those, got rid of the blimp, and I exclusively shoot Leica cameras digitally again. Here again, I am in the middle of the desert. It is probably 100 something degrees, no problem. Nikon has never let me down. You can find a used Leica camera, 35mm, or a used Nikon F5, which is phenomenal. If you can't afford a Leica at this point, and I understand they're expensive, go get yourself a Nikon, save the money, and then get into Leica.